So now I have the quilted side quilted with the friction ink removed, and I have the other side is now lined with or faced with an iron-on interfacing, sort of a fleecy interfacing. So now I'm going to flip this so that the right sides are together, like so. I want to make sure that the top, this two pieces of fabric and this two pieces of fabric are straight together right across that top edge, and they are. To keep them that way, I'm going to put some clips in. Like that. And now I'm going to stitch up this side and up this side. So I'm going to stitch and stitch. My main objective in this little project is to make sure that I'm catching all of the fabric. The size of this little basket isn't that important. It's going to be used to house floss. And I know that the floss, I'm not going to be carefully arranging it in here. I'm likely going to just be tossing it in. So I don't have to worry too much about, you know, if it's exactly 19, 18, however big. The fabric itself, before I started construction, was 19 by 12. And I cut a piece of lining approximately 19 by 12. I don't need to lock the stitches because I'll be folding those two top edges down. And to box the bottom of this bag, I will be doing a folded boxed bottom right along these two edges. First thing I'm going to do is trim my seam allowances that I just created way down. I don't need all this bulk in this little basket. So I'm cutting as close to the stitching as I can without cutting through it. See, we open it up and just kind of do like a wizard hat. Then I'm going to go ahead and trim these down to 1/8 of an inch. Now the next thing I'm going to do is fold the top edges down, and then I'm going to fold them down again. I think it's really cute. I really like it. I don't mind having it here. I think it's going to fit in really well with my thread catcher, my cabbage catcher, my hazel bag, and there I have my little floss bag. Perfect. All right. So since this is kind of a little of this and a little of that video, I'm not sure what I'll be doing next. I have spent most of today is Sunday, August the 9th of 2020, and I spent most of the day outside. Sun is shining in the Pacific Northwest. Don't tell anybody. So my hands are like really scroungily looking from working out in the garden. But tomorrow is a garden tour day if it's not supposed to rain. Tomorrow is Monday the 10th, and it looks like full day of sun with a 7% chance of rain. That's kind of scary. The inside needs to be covered up with a different type of fabric or even the same. I'm thinking pearl, stitch and sparkle, and then I have this press on fleece. Okay, so here they are. They have the that's a line of friction ink that I did not touch with my iron, so I'll have to go back. I got to go back over there anyway. But this right here is a piece of that, it's like white cardboard that came with something packaged. I'm trying to remember what it was. I just recently, with the flour sack towels. If you look at my videos, I recently did a video for how to, like in 15 minutes, make a really cute apron with a flour sack towel. And this piece of cardboard was kind of tucked in those flour sack towels. So my plan is to take this piece of cardboard and so I have some grosgrain ribbon. So if you have a little notebook that has paper on top of cardboard, you can slip the cardboard behind that ribbon and the paper will hang over the top of the ribbon and your notebook is secured in there. So that's why I put that there. Little pocket. Alright, and then I'm going to put this right sides together. So this would now be the right side. Now let's see what happens when we turn it out. That is so cute. I really love that little pocket. The top and the bottom are off. So I think what I'm going to do is split the difference thusly. Actually, is I'm going to do a fantastic stitch that has a purpose in life. And I'm going to do it with my foot number 5. Here it is. It's a wicked looking thing. And I love it to death. And there it is, foot number 5 for the Bernina 1080 Special. Okay, so the way this is going to work is there is a blade that's running down the center of this foot, right here. The fabric is on either side of that blade. I have set my machine on a zigzag stitch, and I'm going to lengthen my stitch to about a 3. I'm going to see if I have clearance, and I do. Do I? Let's try that again. That looked a little close for comfort. There we go. Alright, and I'm just going to sew. Okay, try it again. I'm going to see if I can get that blade to just right up on top, because I really want it to be stitched a couple of times. Yeah. It's like a little binding along the back. I love the way that looks. They went together fine. And now I'm going to remove this foot 5, and I'm going to put foot 1 back on, and I'm going to stitch 1 and then right down the middle, and then another one off to the side. So 1, 2, 3 times. Okay guys, so after having made this, which I love it, I think it's adorable, it's so cute, I can't stand it. It occurred to me there's so much easier way to make these. All right. So this is the area that I will be doing the embroidery in. I don't want to draw a whole inch. I'm going to draw 1/2 inch right here and right here. A little basket of floss and choose the colors I want to use. I love this color on pink. Just a few colors. I think that's kind of a cool challenge. Okay, so now I need to draw a design, which I'm going to save for tomorrow because I am baking biscuits right now. Today I'm going to go through the process of selecting a pattern for the front of this embroidery that I plan to do. I went through almost all of my books and magazines from way back in the past, and I ran across this 1994 January-February edition of Creative Needle, which is a magazine that I used to sell in my shop. So I was looking through here, and I think I'm just going to take a few elements from this because I love the way this looks. This basket is gorgeous. my glass beads are blue, so I feel like if I find them, I just recently saw them somewhere in this disaster, I may add a few here and there. If you've ever seen a beading needle, and they will, generally speaking, you can get the eye of the needle to go through a glass bead. All right, so I am back, and I did find my glass beads. They are blue. They're a little darker than I remembered. I think I have a box of Mill Hill that are a little bit lighter colored than the bead treasures. I'll do one more like that, and then you just kind of load up the needle, and if it's a small enough eye, then it should work quite well. One bead here and there, just as like a sparkle accent instead of a big wad like this. On the end of this video, I need to do a 3 Acre Lake video, which is the garden videos that my sister and I are doing. So I have a couple things I want to discuss, and I'm just going to go ahead and start that little transition from lace or Laurie's heirloom sewing to 3 Acre Lake video, a garden walk. We'll start here. I took this down because it was underneath the eave, not getting any rain. It's a nice big hanging basket. I do have to point out, I don't know if you can see, but up in the arb, right there, I have a little bird who was enjoying the bird seed that has sprouted and become massive plants in that planter right there. And I put it up next to the rail on the deck so that if they wanted to, they could enjoy themselves. And as I was walking outside to start the garden walk, I interrupted a little feast. Okay, so here we are, Blueberry Manor, right in here. Look at the cosmos. They've literally exploded, and they are definitely over my head now. I just love the way these flowers look in the landscape. They're ethereal and pretty, lovely. Sorry, I was trying to capture little Zippy. As you can see, I still have to put the landscape bark down. I haven't done that yet over here, but we will see some progress. This grass has sprouted. I'm not sure if you can see, but there's the little fuzzies just starting right there. It's one of my favorite features about the landscape grasses. And this one as well. sure if I have any beginning plaids in here yet. That might be one right there. It's kind of hard to tell. This is one of my favorite parts of the Shade Palace right here. It's quite pretty. And this is my second favorite part of the Shade Palace. I made several large bouquets of these huge mop head hydrangeas this weekend. Today is Monday, by the way, Monday, August 10th. So this area right here is on the west side of the house, and I have been slowly trying to clear this out, of course leaving these little shrubs. They're easy to take care of, but I noticed during the process of working back here yesterday that my Fisker's pruners were very dull. So I'm going to talk to you about that in just a minute. I'm still, as you can see clearly, I am still working on clearing out. There's a lot of weeds back here. It's one of the last areas that I've really kind of touched in the process of getting it kind of sorted out. And then that, in that general area right there, is Candy Flower Castle. And it kind of begins with that white hydrangea. Now this right here at my feet is, let me get turned around, Vigoro medium black mulch. And you'll notice that if you look at that, you don't see anything on there about it being color enhanced. It does not jump out at you. I will tell you it is color enhanced, which means that when you apply this, you're going to get, and it's black, so you're going to get black dye all over your hands. If you wear gloves, they have to be waterproof, or you're going to get black dye all over your hands. It also is more of a bark. It's like chipped bark. This is my preference. It's a Scott's product. It clearly states on the bag that it is color enhanced, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So right here, color enhanced mulch. So you know right out the gate that you're going to have to wear gloves. I kind of prefer knowing ahead of time, I guess is what I'm saying. Okay, so I worked a little bit on this sad rhodie. It needs to be lifted. This growth down here at the bottom needs to be removed, and then let it kind of grow up and be more of a feature and less of just a wad of rhodie out here. But I did apply, this took about 12 bags. I did that yesterday. I've still got some little bit of fine tuning to do back here in this area as far as the pruning goes. I had to add some rocks along the edge there I don't want this mulch coming out here onto the flagstone, which I'm still working on. And then over here, oh, sorry about all the wobbling. I'm sore from my workout here yesterday. That might look familiar, and yes, indeed, it is the same one. That is our little black elderberry that we planted in the front, and it began to suffer from elderberry leaf wilt, but there's a specific term, and here is another tigridia, and many of the plants in the fountainscape area are doing really well. This is the other plant that was in the danger zone in the front. This is a camellia, and she is called Mrs. Tingley. And as you can see, being back here, she's done so much better. She's got a massive new amount of growth. I'm very pleased. Super happy. I mean, look at all the new growth. Just popping on. It's awesome. So these are my herbs. Right here. This is chives, parsley. This is not oregano, I don't think. Gosh, I don't remember what this is. Yeah, it might be oregano. It is. Okay. I'm not going crazy. This is a little lemon tree that I planted from a seed. And this is my little tomato plant. It's a little indeterminate tomato. I don't know if it will ever produce a tomato, but if you have ever been around tomato plants, you know that smell if you just take a leaf and kind of rub it between your fingers. Oh, it just smells so good. So I've been really enjoying just that. Okay, so over here I wanted to talk to you about my pruners. These are Fiskars, and today they were cleaned. They're a bypass type. They were cleaned and sharpened, and I do recommend, if you have you know, the opportunity to do it, or if you are unable to do it, that you will get your pruners sharpened. They work a lot better. They're easier for you to use, and they're also so much better for your plant. You're not going to be ripping and tearing and just breaking the branches. So give them a good clean. You know, you can soak them, clean them, oil them, do a little bit of oiling right here in this area. I don't know what that's called. I guess it's just a gear. I wouldn't recommend that you mess with the spring, but you know, just keep this area clean. And especially if you have been working on a plant that's suffering from some type of disease, you want to make sure that you get that cleaned off, and you know, protect the other plants that you're going to be working on. You don't want to transfer something from one plant to another. If you have salvia growing in your garden, now is a good opportunity to give it a small trim. Look for new buds and then trim above those, and you'll get a second flush before the end of the season.